So what we're going to do now, we have looked at message dialog. We have also looked at confirm dialog. So I want us now to look at what we call input dialog. Okay, input dialog. So we shall still use J option pane. So we'll say show input. So you can see the input dialog has been overloaded how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's pick the first one, which is the simplest one. So the input dialog only requires you to put the message where you want. So we could say, for instance, what is your name? Okay, what is your name? So let's run this and see what we get. So I click, and here you get input. So it says what is your name, and then it provides for you a place for you to type your name. Okay, so you can also use the input dialog also to confirm something. For instance, where you say, do you want to proceed? Then you put yes or no. So this one requires somebody to type the input. For confirm dialog, you only click the buttons. For what is your name, you type the value that you want. For instance, I can say my name is Mike, and then you click OK. Then the question is, how do you get that input? How does the system then come to receive that input? Again, whatever comes from the input dialog is captured as a string into the system, and it can be assigned to a value. So again, we could come here and create a string variable, string, then we can call it s equals, then we put the J option show input dialog, we assign it to that string, and then in our J option now here we could say you typed S. So this will display the value we shall put in our show input dialog. So let's run this and see. So what is your name? So if I say my name is James and I say OK, then it says you typed James. You see, because whatever you typed was assigned to the value S, and then it was equated to, it was then displayed using this message. Okay, so there are many ways that you can use this. So let's look at the other overloaded methods of show input dialog, and then we see what we can get. So we can change them here. So we show input dialog. So let's pick this one that has the component and the message. So you can have this one that has only message only. This one has message and the initial selection value. Let's try with that. This one has the message and initial selection value. What this means is that you'll put the question, for instance, do you want to play? Maybe asking a question, and then the default answer. So the second part, that is the initial selection value, is the default input. That is, if the user does not need to type something else, what will be captured. For instance, we could say yes. Okay, so let's run this and we see. You see, say, do you want to play? Then it has already yes typed in it. So if I simply click OK, it says you typed yes. Okay. Or we type something else. Do you want to play? I could say I don't know. So if I click OK, it says you typed I don't know. So when we have only two parameters here, it means one being a string, it means that you will have the first part is a question, then the second part is the initial value. Okay, so let's look at another type of input dialog. Show input. I'm saying dot show input dialog. So you can pick this one with the component, the message, and initial selected value. So maybe if even the fourth one has component, object, you can put a title onto it. We have already talked about that. And the message type. Okay, you can have one with component, message, the title, the message type, and initial selected value and all that. But for us, let's simply pick the one that has component, the message, and initial selection value. Let's use this one with the 3 inputs. So J is our component. Then the argument is a question where we say, do you want to play? Do you want to play? And then the last part is say yes, then you put that. So if we run this, we see, because we have put this as J, now it is not null. Then you can see that the input is now appearing where we have the window frame, meaning it is now attached to the window frame. Okay, it is now attached to the window frame. And if we say you typed it picks, you typed yes. Okay, good.